right, good afternoon. We have our first regular season game between the Southern Illinois IceHawks and the Chesterfield Falcons. It's Sunday, November 2nd, 2025, here at Maryville University Hockey Center on the Shanahan rink. That's a puck sent the length of the ice on the opening draw, smothered up by the goalie. And that'll stop time for the first time today, shaving off only a handful of seconds. Southern Illinois and Chesterfield Falcons both moving up in divisions as they started the year at 10U-C2. And so both on riding a couple of good performances in the declaration season, find themselves in a little stiffer competition. There are 12 teams in the 12U-C2 division. That's the goalie smothering the puck up yet again. So we'll have a line change. That's Harrison, George, Powell, Klatt, Vogt, all shifting off. We've got Isaac Ty at left wing, Ethan Kane at right wing, Laith Barricat at center, Barks and Giles back on defense. Centering over into the shooting lane, it's Barricat who has it. He'll kick it over to Ty. Actually, Barricat keeps it. Nice pass down to Kane, but just wide as that's down in the corner now. Kane corralling it and bringing it over. Looking for a centering pass off the skate of the Southern Illinois IceHawks. Now the IceHawks trying to exit. Picked up by Giles. Giles sends one down. That's deflected off the skate and wide. Actually, that was Barks with the shot. Falcons trying to center. They bring it down, smothered up again. And so a couple of shots on goal early for the Falcons. We'll have another line change. This will bring out Godfrey Dooley, Bollinger, Osik, Vogt, and Bella Bradick. That's a face-off, kicked over by the IceHawks to the perimeter, kept in by Vogt. Vogt sweeps it around. This is number 47, Ian Mutcher, picking it up for the IceHawks, centering over through every player, back to Vogt. Vogt over to Kane. Actually, Bollinger, that's an assist by Vogt to Bollinger. Bollinger with a backhand shot just off to the right side. And the Falcons score. Gerard Walk in net for the Falcons. No action yet. We'll see if the IceHawks can squeeze it through. Giles sends it down. Giles again through. Falcons doing a good job waiting at the blue line. It's Powell chasing after. He'll collect it down behind the net, centering up. It's Klatt looking to get a shot off. That's going to go wide. Powell trying to collect it as that went through. Back in the hands of Klatt. Klatt trying to get a shot. Now George looking for another one. Klatt trying to collect it again. Sends it down. Loose puck off to the right side of the post. IceHawks trying to clear it out. 68 Logan George putting some pressure on at the perimeter. Puck slides loose. Falcons chasing now as the puck goes down into their own end. Giles gets there first, pressured by number 72, Laparo for the IceHawks. Now Jackson Powell sends it into the neutral zone. That won't have enough for an icing call. Good job by Harrison chasing it down. Harrison coming over to squeeze into Giles at the point. Falcons trying to keep it in. Giles down to George. Off the stick of George into the hands of Laparo for the IceHawks. Laparo sweeps it over to the other side. That was Powell again, had his hands on it. The puck goes just past Giles. IceHawks on the attack. IceHawks get their stick on it in the neutral zone. They'll try to sweep it in, but it's Giles who sends it the opposite direction. 8:50 remaining here in the first period. Ice Hawks trying to send it through. That's George getting his stick on it before the Ice Hawks can clear it. Now Klatt sending one low. That's just behind the net. The goalie's way outside the net. He manages to jump over and get his glove on it. And the Falcons managing a ton of time so far in their own attacking zone. But the Ice Hawks on that face-off will exit. And it's the Ice Hawks now on the attack. Number 6, Warchall has it. He loses it on a couple of sweaters, knocking it away. Now it's Laith Bearcat trying to exit. Laith Bearcat into the neutral zone. Laith Bearcat pokes it over off his own skate. He's looking for a shot, collected by Warchall. Warchall, he's going to swing around the other way. Warchall trying to exit. Now in the hands of the Ice Hawks. Number 12 pokes it over. Vogt sending it down just wide. Now in the hands of Barks at the point. Barks over to Ty, then past Ty to Bearcat. Bearcat with a shot. That was just wide, close. Putting a ton of pressure on this goalie early. Bearcat swinging over. He'll look for another shot. Actually poked away by the Ice Hawks. Warchall trying to send it out. Unable to do so. And that's a slap shot by one of the Ice Hawks into the corner. Ice Hawks clear it over the other way. This time to number 14, but just past 14. Laith Bearcat trying to get a shot. Now to Kane. Down in the low slot. But that was deflected. Ice Hawks again with possession. That was Warchall trying to squeeze it out. Barks comes down. Right leg pad save. That looks like Joey Strube, number 2. We've got a line change. This is going to be Warchall. Warchall with a shot. Score! Tie game. Warchall, who picked that up as there was a line change, and I believe that was 62, Hunter Godfrey Dooley, who had it, but intercepted by Warchall, and that'll tie the game at 6:25. So Falcons spending a ton of time in their own zone, but letting up one loose one here, and that's all it takes in the game of hockey. And we may have another opportunity as it's the Ice Hawks trying to get their body there in front of it. Good defensive effort by the Falcons as they prevented something from materializing yet again. This is Godfrey Dooley with possession over on the corner. He'll try to send it in. They're down by the blue line, trying to clear it over. It's Giles who sends it low. 0-0 Slayton on it. And this is going to go through the neutral zone. Giles getting his stick on it. He'll wrap it around wide. Off the board to Bollinger. Bollinger loses it off his skate. That's going to get shot but picked up by Giles. Now to Godfrey Dooley. Osik sends it through. Nobody there to collect it. And it's going to go off the boards. Bollinger trying to stick it over. Bella Bradick in to help. Now it's Mush. Actually, correction. Giles sending it over. That's past 0-0 Slayton for the Ice Hawks. And looks like it was just tipped. 0-0 Slayton will get there. He'll wait for it to cross the red line, but because it was tipped, that's not icing. Ice Hawks trying to clear it through again, but Godfrey Dooley getting his stick on it. He'll send it over ping-ponged back and forth, back through the neutral zone, picked up by 00 Slayton again. This time he sends it wide, untouched. Will have icing, and that stops the clock at 4:26. We'll head 200 feet in the opposite direction and face off in the Falcons' attacking zone. So we've got Stroop, who's seen a ton of pressure so far here in the first period. Falcons spending much of their time in their own attacking zone, a little bit of time in the neutral zone, and very little time in their own defensive end. This is the ISOC still trying to clear. Warchal, correction, had his stick on it. And this one is 14. Spencer loses it over on the boards as Platt tries to gain possession. Platt bodying over against one of the ISOCs. Now makes its way to George. George sweeps it over. Warchal collects. Warchal looking for a potential breakaway. Warchal and Vogt. Vogt trying to get his stick on it. Gerard Walk loses it there in transition, but he has a couple teammates ready to pick it up. This is Platt who does so. Cleared off the boards. Warchal looking for a shot. He's going to swing over, but Vogt does a good job sticking that one over. Back over to Warchal. And number 12 kept it in. A little bit of holding there on Powell, but nothing called. Warchal collects it. He's going to swing through. Warchal looking for another shot. Warchal free. Warchal shot. Right leg pad save by Gerard Walk. Warchal's dangerous. The Falcons will have to learn how to collect that. He's done a good job getting a couple opportunities here. That's a pass over from Kahn to Warchal. Warchal swinging over. Whiff as George was there to collect it. Now over to Platt. Puck exits their own zone. ISOCs will have to reset. ISOCs unable to do that as Warchal was still down on the ground from the first shot that he took. That stops the clock at 2:45, and we'll face off here at center is what the referees are calling. Laith Bearcat at center, Isaac Ty at left, Ethan Kane at right. This is Barks at defense, paired with Giles. Puck into the neutral zone. Kane sends it the other way. Called clear. And that looked like a potential trip, but not called. And the IceHawks family is not happy about it, but it goes uncalled nonetheless. This is Laith Bearcat trying to dance through traffic. Puck over, picked up by Barks, sent in. Falcons will draw the offsides call. So tie game with 2 minutes and 8 seconds on the clock here in the first period. We'll leave a poke by Bella Bradick over to 74 Osik, picked up by the IceHawks. They send it back to the neutral zone. Sent through by the Falcons down to the corner. Falcons on the forecheck now. They'll try to get there. One of the IceHawks dropping it down by the red line. Picked up by Bella Bradick, but loose again over on the boards. Bella Bradick center over to the shooting lane. Through a few players. Now over to Osik, though, who loses it. Hunter, or actually that was Henry Bollinger, picks it up. Now Bella Bradick trying to get a backhand shot, but that's lost in traffic. It's Warchal trying to pick up another head of steam. Actually, not Warchal. This is number 70. 70 looking for a shot. 70 goes down. That looked a little painful. Bollinger attempting to kick it out. IceHawks now spending a little bit more time in their own attacking zone. I'm sure they're happy to have that. 1 minute and 4 seconds. It's Barrett Vogt with possession. He lost it. Picked up by the IceHawks. They send it back down behind the net. This time it's Godfrey Dooley. Backhand shot by number 33. That was Ridge Slayton for the Ice Hawks. Didn't make its way to the net. That's a loose puck. Now it's Bollinger chasing after. Bollinger goes down. Slayton will try to get there. And we will have icing. And the Ice Hawks will spend a little bit more time in their own attacking zone. And Gerard Walk may see a couple more shots as time winds down here in the first period. Line change will bring us George at center, Harrison over at right wing, Powell at left, Platt and Giles on defense. Look, Ice Hawks were looking for a wraparound shot. Ice Hawks doing a good job keeping that puck in at the point, but picked up by Powell. Powell on the rush. Couple of Ice Hawks pressuring. That's going to be a wide shot. Powell trying to squeeze one off and not enough space. And this will be Warchal. This is Warchal yet again. Gerard Walk coming out. Warchal looking for a score. That's going to be a score by Warchal as he has another breakaway, carrying the team so far. 6 seconds remaining in the first period. They put the Ice Hawks up 2-1. And so that's the end of the first period. We'll have both teams head back to the bench. That shot by Warchal was his second unanswered score, and the Falcons will now look to restructure and regroup a little bit, as Pier's defense is letting Warchal kind of squeak through, but he's been showing some pretty good skill out there. He's taking advantage of the opportunities he's had. And again, this is the first regular season game. Both teams on the ice today having moved up from the 10U-C3 division to 10U-C2. Chesterfield Falcons versus Southern Illinois Ice Hawks. 12 teams in the division this year, so they'll all see each other a handful of times for a total of 12 to 13 games. That's split up between 3 separate groups. It's just the first of that series. So as we're set to open the second, 12 minutes on the clock, this is Bearcat on the open. Warchal over left wing was trying to carry it through, bumped into Barks. Barks trying to send it over. Barks will chase it off the boards and kick it over to Bearcat. Bearcat through. Bearcat looking to grab it, but Bearcat was trying to grab his stick too. That will go low, slow, down to Strube, the goalie for the Ice Hawks. He smothers it, and that'll stop the clock. Only about 25 seconds shaved off here in the second period. And we'll keep the same lineup as before. Bearcat at center, Ty at left wing, Ethan Kane at right wing, Vogt and Barks back on defense. Warchal trying to collect it at left. That's picked up by Barks and over to Bearcat. Bearcat looking for a shot. That's deflected up over the net off the stick of Strube. So a nice shot there by Bearcat. Vogt with a shot off the skate of Bearcat. Bearcat's going to swing in down to the low slot, trying to grab it. And this could be dangerous as Warchal chasing it. Nice pass over from Barks to Vogt. Warchal chasing it. Warchal looking for a shot. That's a save by Gerard Walk. And I'm not sure, but he's sitting on it. He gets up like a chicken off of an egg. But he had a nice save. 11:01 here in the second period. And so that puck picked up by the Falcons as they swept through the neutral zone into their own defensive end. It was Warchal who had a heads-up play to collect that puck and had a shot wide over by the face-off dot. Gerard Walk dropping down to the butterfly and made a nice save. over on the right post. And that's picked up by Bollinger at center. Bollinger in through the neutral zone, trying to get ahead of steam. A lot of black sweaters on Bollinger, though. Bollinger still chasing after. IceHawks will poke it into the neutral zone, picked up by Godfrey Dooley. Godfrey Dooley will have a little bit of stick action from 72. Falcons will send it wide. That is no icing call as it was tipped. IceHawks now trying to clear it. And Giles had an opportunity to keep it in, but lost it. Sent across the blue line, and that'll lead to an offsides call. We'll face off here on the spectator side, just across the blue line. Clock stopped at 10:26 here in the second period. Powell chasing over. Laparo to Voss, but wide to Klatt for the Falcons. Powell trying to get his stick on it from behind as Laparo swept it deeper into the neutral zone. Back past Laparo. Now to number 12 for the IceHawks. This is Voss. Voss sweeps it over. That's off the boards. Klatt sends it down to the goalie. Powell trying to collect some loose puck action, but good job by Strube to stop that from getting loose. And now we'll have another face-off here on the spectator side, down low. Line change will bring us a couple of new players. It's Vogt and Harrison back on defense. George at center, Klatt at left, Powell at right wing. This looks like number 14, Spencer. Powell sends it low, but picked up by the IceHawks. Vogt chasing it into the neutral zone. Vogt swinging over. Vogt pass over to Powell. Powell squeezing through a couple of bodies somehow. IceHawks now trying to send it the other way. They'll send it into the neutral zone. That's going to go down to Vogt. Vogt pokes it over. Now it's Warchal who has it. Klatt coming over, but nice job by Vogt to get his stick on it before Warchal can break away with some speed. They'll send it to the opposite corner where Powell will pick it up. Powell and Klatt now trying to break out. Powell coming over. He'll send it into the neutral zone, and the IceHawks unable to reset. That's going to be offsides. Stops the clock at 9:05. We'll have another line change. That brings out Barks, Giles, Isaac Ty, Kane, and Bearcat. Kane to Bearcat, but picked up by Warchal. Warchal now trying to send it over. He'll dance through three Falcons. He's going to swing in up to the net, and not sure where that puck is, but it may be underneath. It is. It's underneath Gerard Walk. Gerard Walk with another save as Warchal was trying to swing in low. Had a shot. It looked like it bounced off the back of the post into the body of Walk. Walk squatted down and saved it. That stops the clock at 8:50 in the second period. Same lineup as before. Ty at left wing, Kane at right, Bearcat at center. This one sent over, and we'll have the IceHawks keeping it in as they send it down to the right corner. Falcons trying to clear it out. Picked up by Bearcat. It's going to be Bearcat through the neutral zone. He'll kick it to himself. He's looking for a shot. He gets a shot. That's going to be deflected off the stick of Strube, the goalie for the IceHawks. Kane now pokes it low down toward Bearcat, but the IceHawks deflect it over. Now Giles on the perimeter. He'll send it down, picked up by an IceHawk. Now Barks trying to send it over. A couple of the IceHawks. Now that's a nice pass by Ty to Bearcat. Bearcat looking for a shot. Bearcat just wide. Bearcat has it. He's swinging into the shooting lane. Kane with a shot. No. Deflected. Barks down into the shooting lane. Picked up by the IceHawks. They'll try to clear it out. Giles off the boards. He's looking for a long shot. No, it's actually going to go to Bearcat. Bearcat with a shot off the right leg pad. Picked up by Barks in the high slot. Now number 70 for the IceHawks sends it down to Barks. Now to Bearcat, both on the lane. Giles keeps it in. So that was a good job by the IceHawks, but an even better defensive effort. Kane to the centering as they tried to get one out, but no Falcon there to accept. Falcons reset. Now they're back on the defensive effort as they try to collect this puck. Bearcat coming over. Kane doing a good job getting his stick in the mix. Loose puck is going down into the Falcons' end, and Barks will get there first. Barks actually centering pass. It's going to be a shot. Picked up and then deflected. Loose puck low. Kane kicking it wide. IceHawks looking for another shot. 6:40 on the clock here. Giles trying to clear it. Bearcat looking for a little bit of a rush opportunity. Ty sending it into the neutral zone. That's going to lose a little bit of steam as Voss picks it up for the IceHawks. Over to Laparo. And Barks doing a good job clearing it back in. Bearcat and Kane now on the forecheck. Bearcat coming in, looking to pick it up. That was dangerous as Ty was down low. Bella Bradick bumps into one of the IceHawks. Ty picks it up. Ty looking for a shot. Pass over to Bearcat, but off the stick of one of the IceHawks players. Giles will have it. Giles poking it off the boards, picked up by the IceHawks. They'll try to clear it again, but Ty doing a good job collecting it. It's Voss now. As Voss, actually this is Laparo. Laparo looking for a shot. Laparo, nice save by Gerard Walk as Laparo had clear open ice and lost it on the initial shot. That went off the body of Walk, and Laparo had an opportunity for a rebound, but a good job by Walk as he stopped it. Now it's Sophia Armstrong into net as she'll have an opportunity to close it out. 5:37 on the clock. That brings a new goalie out for the IceHawks as well. That was a little bit of miscommunication. Warchal looking for a shot. Warchal picked it up. He was coming down over. Armstrong will need to get back up. Best way to beat the puck is with your feet. Godfrey Dooley trying to wind it over. Picked up by 00 Slayton. That's going to go down wide. Armstrong sliding over. That was dangerous as that puck was picked up by Warchal low. That's a centering pass. Falcons trying to clear it out. Bollinger had his stick on it. Falcons trying to clear. Now it's Bella Bradick with an opportunity. And Osik. Osik coming down. Pressuring. Contesting. Osik will lose it, but it's Vogt. Vogt's going to get his stick on it. Vogt with an opportunity. Vogt shot. Saved by number 38, O'Keefe, for the IceHawks. Now it's Warchal. Vogt's going to lose it. Warchal's going to have a shot on Armstrong. Armstrong, right leg pad save. And they're both shooting that puck into Bollinger's body as he was down on the ice. Armstrong doing a good job on that shot from Warchal. Now they're going to try to squeeze this in over. And that was actually poked in by Bollinger, who was trying to swing in and stop it. That puck was sent down back behind Sophia Armstrong, and Bollinger poked it in on accident. That'll give the IceHawks a 3-1 lead, and it's Warchal now who has possession. He's trying to swing over, but Chris Platt trying to work his way. The puck is now on the opposite side of the ice as it's wrapped around, picked up by the Falcons. Armstrong coming over, keeping her eye on it. Puck knocked back to the corner by That looked like Jackson Powell. And it's now in the hands of 84. Falcons now on the rush. And it's Harrison. Harrison who had it. Harrison looking to get a stop. And Harrison will chase it out off of a wide pass. That's picked up by George. Loose puck. Now we'll go to Giles. Giles doing a good job getting his stick on it. Giles pass over to Klatt. Now to George in the neutral zone. It's Warchal yet again. Warchal will be swinging through all the players. But a good defensive effort by Giles as he came over. And the Ice Hawks will have to wait for a reset. And that's Voss who will send it in. And Armstrong knocking it over. Warchal picking it up. Warchal looking for a wraparound shot. Armstrong will stop it. And a good save on Armstrong with the wraparound. 2:47 here in the second period. Backhand attempt by the Ice Hawks, but too many Falcons players in the mix. Number 47, Mutcher, trying to get his stick on it. Lost puck in transition, picked up by Kane. Kane cleared in. Laith Barakat with a rush opportunity. Laith Barakat looking for a shot. There's the shot. Picked up by Barakat, and it's a loose net. The goalie's down. Falcons not appearing to realize that the goalie was back behind the net for a couple of seconds there. And the Ice Hawks getting away with one. Everybody was on fire for that. They were looking for a little bit of an opportunity, and Falcons unable to come away with anything. But everybody was excited on that one. Kane will send it back through. That may have enough meat to get to the red line. Not sure if it'll be icing. The Ice Hawks trying to chase it down, and no icing call. 1:45. Vogt will keep it in. Then over to Kane. Kane sends it back down low. Ice Hawks trying to clear. Now back over to Barks. Barks on the perimeter. Over to Barakat. Barakat backhand pass to Kane. But it's number 00 Slayton for the Ice Hawks. He'll try to kick it off the boards to himself. Barks gets his stick on it. That's a backhand pass by Vogt. And the referees will not let that go, as that was offsides. That stops the clock at 1:12 in the second period. Both teams will face off on the bench side, the Ice Hawks bench side just across the blue line. We'll have a line change. That brings out Bollinger to center, Godfrey Dooley to right wing. I have a little bit of a miscommunication. Godfrey Dooley back to left wing now. Chris Klatt at right. Godfrey Dooley trying to maneuver his way. It's Warchal swinging low. Warchal looking for the puck. Warchal will go behind the net. Warchal looking for a wraparound save initially. That then was kicked wide out into the neutral zone. Ice Hawks may get tired as time expires, only because they only have 13 players, 2 goalies and 11. And it's going to be Bollinger. Bollinger looking for a shot opportunity. Bollinger, shot, in, it's in! Goal by Bollinger. Falcons back up on the board as the Ice Hawks had 3 unanswered. So late into the second, it's Bollinger with his second goal. Bollinger's first goal was early in the first off an assist from Barrett Vogt. This one knocked loose and picked up by Bollinger as he came down and had a shot. That went through the 5-hole of number 38, Samuel O'Keefe, the goalie for the Ice Hawks. And as much time as the Ice Hawks, or correction, the Falcons have had, now it's Bollinger again. Bollinger down into the shooting lane. Bollinger with a shot. And a save by O'Keefe. Bollinger wrapping around, looking for a wraparound shot. Is it in? It's loose. I'm not sure if it's in. And Godfrey Dooley coming over trying to get his stick on it. And they're calling it no good, but a good job by O'Keefe for the Ice Hawks to stop the play as he had it right on the line. Bollinger with a couple of opportunities down low. 41.5 seconds remaining here in the second period. 3-2 lead still goes to the Ice Hawks. And that puck will get sent out. Falcons will have to reset. It's Harrison picking it up, sending it over to Klatt. Now back to George, but it's Warchal dancing through. Loose puck, picked up by Vogt, but it's the Ice Hawks who send it down to the corner. Vogt down to the corner again, sending it loose. Now over to Warchal. Warchal loses that on a potential one-timer opportunity. Powell trying to send it out. Powell getting some pressure from a couple dark sweaters down low. Warchal now back to Harrison. It's Klatt off the boards. Klatt over to Powell, but picked up by the Ice Hawks. Now back to Harrison. And that'll close out the second period. Just a short recap as both teams get a break, and one last final word from their coaches on the bench side. It was the Falcons who opened up scoring early in the first at 10:32 on the clock, with Henry Bollinger getting an assist from Barrett Vogt. And then it was a couple of unanswered goals, both by Warchal, as he had breakaways. And then Falcons finally got a score late in the second. And there was an own goal somehow getting picked up. The Falcons sent one in on their own net, and that gave the Ice Hawks the lead. Falcons are clawing their way back. The Ice Hawks had 3 unanswered goals after the Falcons opened it up. It's Harrison trying to swing it over. That's going to get picked up by the Ice Hawks, and unfortunately an offsides call. And Mapparo in for the Ice Hawks. It's sent down to Mutcher. Mutcher back through, past Harrison, down to Kane and Vogt, but it's Vogt who will swing wide. 33, Slayton chasing after as Vogt had it. Back down to the corner, picked up by Vogt. Vogt wraps it back the same direction that it came from. Ice Hawks trying to get a shot down. That's a loose puck down into the low slot. Kane grabs it. He'll send it into the neutral zone. Harrison chasing after, but it's number 47, Mutcher, who will get there first. He sends it down off the boards, picked up by another one of his players. That's going to get sent all the way down low, and we'll have icing, which will be lucky as it was Warchal chasing down with a head of steam and looking for a little bit of open space. That is cut off as we have the clock stopped at 11:48 in the third period. And this will bring on a line change. Osik at left wing, Bollinger at center. We'll have Godfrey Dooley at right wing, Barks and Giles back on defense. Falcons trying to get another one down low. That's going to get picked up by Giles. Sent down off the skate of one of the Ice Hawks players. That was deflected and sent wide, picked up by Bollinger. Bollinger trying to kick it over to Osik. Loose puck down to Godfrey Dooley. Now Osik gets his stick on it. Back to number 33, Slayton for the Ice Hawks. He'll send that off the boards, and Giles will send it loose. Actually, the Ice Hawks trying to kick it over, but it was Barks who kept it in. That's going to go wide. Ice Hawks trying to clear it out. picked up by Giles. Giles unable to do anything with it, but he'll send it across as Falcons had 3 across the blue line. That stops the clock at 11:04. Both teams facing off on the bench side. This time it's Logan George at center, Chris Platt, Jackson Powell at right and left wing, Vogt and Bella Bradick on defense. The Falcons may have a player advantage because they have 5 extra to shift out onto the ice. That was a centering pass over to Chris Platt by Powell. That was dangerous. Now Powell looking for another one. Powell looking for a wraparound shot. Centered, down wide, and it's saved. Not sure it's blown dead, but saved by O'Keefe. And a nice shot opportunity as Powell was wrapping around and kicked over through traffic, picked up by Platt, sent into the body of O'Keefe and stopped. 10:39 here in the third. Same lineup as before. George will send it down to the goalie. It appeared he didn't even know where it was going as that one was sliding over and the goalie was frozen there momentarily, but sometimes hard to pick it up in traffic. It's now Powell and George. Stopped at the red line and picked up by the Ice Hawks. They'll try to clear it in. Picked up by the Ice Hawks at the red line again. They'll send it down past to number 14. Lost in transition there momentarily. And it is a loose puck as Wartall was fighting for it, but sent into the neutral zone by the Falcons. Now Chris Platt attempting to get something going down low. But pressure by the Ice Hawks sends that puck loose into the neutral zone, back into the Falcons' defensive end. Vogt over to Powell, picked up by Slayton for the Ice Hawks. Powell back through, it's loose, and it's George. George chasing after, but poked over. Now it's going to be a shot opportunity by Platt. Platt sends it in, and score by Platt! So it was the goalie for the Ice Hawks who kept it, tried to send it loose with his stick, picked up by Platt. Platt swung down to the doorstop of O'Keefe and sent it in just off to the right post. And so we have a tie game. And the Falcons will try to capitalize on all the ice time they've had in their own attacking zone. Truly, the few opportunities from the Ice Hawks have been on the breakaways with maybe a defensive lapse / also just pure great effort and skill by Wartall. He's been the sole goal scorer for the Ice Hawks team. And Kane will send it across the blue line. That's offsides. Falcons have 8:51 now to catch the game back up and take the lead again, as they had the lead for a little bit in the first and subsequently surrendered that up to the Ice Hawks. Ice Hawks doing a good job, of course, as they've really had a ton of pressure on their own goalie, and they've made a lot of stops. And Harrison will grab that puck and send it in, but again, Falcons unable to reset. We'll have a line change. Giles, Harrison, Kane, Bearcat, Ty all off the ice. Now at center is Bollinger, Godfrey Dooley at right, Osik at left wing, Barks and Vogt back on defense. And it's Slayton taking the face-off, picked up by Osik. Now Bollinger trying to swing in. Osik kicks it down low. That's going to be deflected off the stick of O'Keefe. Vogt will pick it up in the corner. He'll look for a centering pass. He's going to shoot it. That's a right leg pad save by O'Keefe. This time it's wrapped around on the boards again. Picked up by Vogt. Sent wide, and now Bollinger on the opposite side of the boards tried to send it toward the goalie, but picked up by the Ice Hawks. Now it's Oseek down into the shooting lane. Oseek with a shot and deflected off number 12. That was Voss for the Ice Hawks. Dangerous down low. Godfrey Dooley trying to send it over to Bollinger. Barks as well. That's kept in by Vogt. Vogt sends it, but picked up off the stick of one of the Ice Hawks players. Kept in by Barks at the point. Bollinger trying to collect this puck and bring it over. It's Godfrey Dooley, though, who does it. Loose puck down into the low slot. Actually collected by the Ice Hawks once again. Sent to the opposite side. Bollinger chasing after, but it's 72 Laparo who will get there first. And the Ice Hawks have to be tired. They've only got 11 players on the ice. Falcons will have to clear. Barks picks it up before they can do so. Sends it across the blue line. That's offsides. That stops the clock at 6:58. Giles sending it through. Chris Klatt, Powell, both on the ice. That's Giles who keeps it in. Good defensive effort there. That's Klatt over to the goalie and just past the goalie and wide. Picked up by Powell. Centering pass off the body of O'Keefe. Giles will try to get something going. That was off the stick of Giles, and a good job Powell coming over as Warchal had it. Warchal unlucky, unfortunately, for the Ice Hawks, and that's kept in. The Ice Hawks are offsides. Bella Bradick poking it over, picked up by Giles, now to George. George to Klatt, but sent in by Mutcher. 14 has it. That's Spencer. Spencer over to George, it looked like. Now Klatt to Bella Bradick. Bella Bradick loses it in traffic. Klatt looking for it again, but the Ice Hawks pick it up. They try to bring it in for the attack. That was Warchal again, but he got tripped up. Couldn't bring it forward. Both teams just volleying back and forth here in the neutral zone. Not much happening, but a lot of energy being poured out. Chris Klatt. It'll go past him, now past Giles, now over to Warchal. Giles chasing after behind, but that's called icing, and that may be lucky for the Falcons, as Sophia Armstrong picked it up and carried it over to the referee. And now we will face off down in the Falcons attacking zone with 5:23 remaining here in the third period. Harrison and Vogt back on defense. Bearcat over to Ty. Ty looking for a shot. That's going to go just wide. Bearcat trying to pick it up, but it was sent over by the Ice Hawks. Harrison trying to poke it back deep. Now Vogt through traffic over to Bearcat. Picked up by the Ice Hawks. They'll look to exit. Ice Hawks now looking for another attack here. And that was poked by Vogt. It's 72 Laparo looking for a shot. Shot deflected by Bearcat. Ty getting some pressure down low. Ice Hawks now spending some time in their own attacking zone. Kane with his stick on the puck. He'll try to clear it wide. Now in the hands of 84. 84 kicks it over. That's to the boards. Picked up by Vogt. Vogt trying to exit. Vogt through to the neutral zone. Picked up by Voss for the Ice Hawks. Voss. Pass over to 78 Adank. Back to Voss. Kane looking to get his stick on the puck. Kane with his stick on it. Kane down low. Kane backhand shot. And it's wide. And it's in. It's called dead as Kane shot it. The loose puck, unfortunately, unable to go in after or before the play was blown dead. It looked like the goalie had it, and Kane poked it in, and that's a no goal. 4:11 remains here in the third period. Bollinger over to Osik, who's at left wing. Now Godfrey Dooley trying to collect it at right wing. Godfrey Dooley getting his stick into the action. Warchal trying to spin through traffic. Picked up by the Ice Sox, but back to Bollinger now. But it's Slayton, 0-0. Poked over by Giles. A good defensive effort by Giles on the back check. And 46 Giles again picking it up. Ice Sox unable to reset. That'll be offsides. And both teams will face off at center ice. 3:46 remains in the third period. Warchal looking for the puck, and he'll lose that initially on the poke by Giles. Armstrong will have to come over and get ready. Warchal going down, no penalty called. Referee's letting a lot go here, and that's good as the play is just developing. We've got 3 players from each team down frozen on the boards as the puck is just waiting to be collected by one team clearly. That's going to be a shot saved by Armstrong. Warchal swinging over. Osik trying to clear it out. Now Godfrey Dooley. Low puck down low. Puck low again. Armstrong trying to save it. And it's a score by Warchal. Ice Sox back up on the board. So empty, actually not an empty net, but they will be pulling soon. So the Falcons with their own goal, it may prove to be the nail in the coffin. 2 minutes remains now as the clock is reset. And the Falcons may need to pull the goalie. They're waiting to pull the goalie, no word yet. The Falcons have not collected it and had cleared possession in their own attacking zone. But it's Powell who's trying to collect it. They'll send it down toward the net, and they have not pulled the goalie yet. 1:30 remains. They're going to pull Sophia Armstrong. It looks like it. 1:28 remains. Platt trying to score. Loose puck off the boards, and Falcons have to reset. They do so, and Platt across offsides. So it's Warchal who picked it up late. 3 minutes on the clock. Was able to squeeze one past Sophia Armstrong, who was kind of huddling over on the post, and he made a good shot. That's a hat trick, by the way, for Warchal, who comes off the ice now on a line change. Actually, no, they're going to have a timeout. And so they're telling Sophia Armstrong, be ready for this next shot. They may call her off the ice. O'Keefe headed over to his bench. And so the first regular season game, unless the Falcons can score, may go to the Ice Hawks, but we'll see what unfolds here in the next minute and 14 seconds. That's 2 goals by Bollinger, 1 by Platt. That brings the Falcons to 3. And the Ice Hawks with 4 goals. 1 being forced by an own goal on the Falcons, and 3 shots and scores by Warchal. Warchal proving to be the difference here. And we may have a pulled goalie as the Falcons are in their own attacking zone. That puck's going to go loose. It's Bollinger chasing after. That was off the stick of Bollinger. Armstrong's coming off. We've got another player out on the ice. This is Vogt. Vogt's going to swing over, and it's Warchal. Actually, that was Loparo looking for something. 6 Falcons on the ice. Clark's trying to chase after it. Falcons will have to reset, and unfortunately, Chris Klatt on the wrong side of the blue line with 40 seconds remaining. 40 seconds left. We'll have a face-off across the blue line here on the spectator side. It's Bollinger at center, Barks, Vogt, and Giles back on defense. Barricat at right wing, and Powell at left. Falcons trying to do something with it. It's Giles who's going to get in there. Giles and Vogt bump into each other. That's kept in by the Ice Hawks. Ice Hawks trying to get a shot on the empty net now. Slayton trying to send it low. Now over to Giles. Warchal trying to get his stick on it. Loose puck down low. Slayton with a shot just wide on the empty net. Vogt trying to clear it through. Ice Hawks again looking for a centering pass. This is going to be Bollinger with 7 seconds left. Bollinger looking for a shot. Bollinger with a shot. That's wide. He tries to pick it up. And centering pass. No, it's no goal. It's going to be a win. And oh my, it was Bollinger who had a wraparound shot with time expiring and stuffed by the post. And what a good game. A ton of pressure on the goalies for the Ice Hawks. And so many opportunities for the Falcons. And now it was a nail-biter as the Falcons had their goalie pulled for about the last minute and a half. And it's the Ice Hawks who come out victorious. Again, 3 goals by Warchal, an own goal by the Falcons. That brings the Ice Hawks to a total of 4, and 2 goals by Bollinger and 1 by Klatt. The first regular season game complete here on Sunday, November 2nd, 2025 at Maryville University Hockey Center on the Shanahan rink. And we will see you all next time. Thank you for tuning in.